Hello everyone. Well, it's not often I start a video of my booted feet, but today I felt I need to put my Wellington boots on inside the house because, I don't know why, but for some reason I got up and decided to spill a load of milk on my kitchen floor, followed by some orange juice, and then if that wasn't bad enough, I decided to spray a mixture of gravy browning and water all over the floor as well. Well, that's the sort of thing a mad person would do, isn't it? Yes, indeed it is. I am mad, but I've done it for a good reason, and I'll tell you why. So why have I made such a mess of my kitchen floor? Why am I having to resort to wearing Wellington boots inside the house? Well, if you watch the following video, the reasons will become very apparent. For any of my viewers and subscribers, you'll know that I like to test out floor care appliances, hard floor washers, carpet washers, and when I do, I like to give them a thorough job to clean up, because there's no point in just cleaning up a few little bits and pieces, because most products can do that. So I like to do a thorough demonstration, and that means an extreme example of dirt. So that's what I've done in my kitchen today. So I'm stood in this mess that is drying. It is an absolute state, this floor, and I'm hoping that the Vax Floormate Cordless, which I happen to have next to me, will do the work for me. Now, I've had this for just over a week and I've been trying it out, of course, but just using it on my regular dirt, and I've been very, very impressed with it. Not only do the spin scrub brushes, which you can see under the machine there, not only do those brushes clean the floor very effectively, the suction that comes through the squeegee head at the front leaves the floor absolutely dry in just minutes. By the time I've finished my kitchen floor, where I started is dry. Now, I've used many Vax Floormate products over the years, and I've owned other hard floor cleaners, and this, hand on heart, is the best one I've used. Recently I've been using the Vax Floormate Freedom, which was an older version of a cordless Vax hard floor washer, and I was more than happy with it, more than happy to use it, and I have been using it on a regular basis. But when Vax sent me this to try, and I used it for the first time, I knew that my Floormate Freedom would be delegated to the back of the cupboard, because I cannot use that now. I've experienced this machine. So, you don't want to hear me waffling on about the machine, you want to see some results, don't you? So the first thing I need to do is to fill the clean water tank here with water up to about 40 degrees. You don't want it boiling hot, just hot water, hand hot water, and I need to put some Vax floor-to-floor cleaning solution in as well. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I filled the container up to the fill line with the correct dosage of Vax floor-to-floor solution and warm water. So now all we have to do is click it back into the machine on the side here. And of course, I've charged up the battery fully. The Lithium Life battery fits in here, and that just charges up in its own separate charger. And just to check that it is fully charged, I can press the button underneath, and as you can see, the 3 blue lights indicate that there's a full charge in the battery. And Vax claim it'll last about 30 minutes of use using this battery before it needs another charge, which takes about 3 hours for a full charge. The advantage of this system, if you own any of the other Vax cordless products that use the Lithium Life battery, such as the Air Cordless Vacuum Cleaner, you can actually use the same batteries, so they're completely interchangeable. So if you find that that's run out, if you do a lot of cleaning, you'll still have another battery if you have another cordless product from Vax. Okay then, without any further ado, I think I need to start cleaning up this mess. Now, this is an extreme example, of course. Hopefully your floors won't be this dirty, but it's just to demonstrate that you can use the machine for spill pickup as well. Any spillage you get on the floor, you can use the machine to suction up any of that spill before you actually wash the floor. So all I'm going to do is pass the machine forward and back, just using the wash and dry setting, but I'm not going to apply any of the solution. Basically, I want to suck up most of this liquid first before I actually apply the solution and scrub it into the floor. So, without any further ado, let's get cleaning. Now, as you can see, it is a little hard to pick up on this dark coloured floor, but I've only used suction, and you can see where I've been. Obviously this is the spill that I've not gone over, and this is the other side. But I know that if I was to let that dry, it will soon become a right sticky mess. So now I'm going to pass the machine forward, but just using scrub mode. So I'll be applying the solution using the trigger on the handle, and scrubbing in the solution into the centre of that. I'll then draw back the machine and hopefully we'll be left with a clean and almost dry floor. So now I can see a difference. I can smell a nice fresh smell, and that floor, like, it's not bone dry. I'm not going to lie to you. I should really get the paper towel test. I will do that for the next section, but believe you me, this will take minutes to dry rather than, well, half an hour. Sometimes floors can take to dry, can't they? So even on this dark floor, if I step back, you can actually see that I've now got a strip of very clean floor, but I still have a lot more cleaning to do. So without any further ado, I'm going to clean up the rest of this mess with a Vax hard floor washer, and we'll see what colour the water is when I've finished. Well, here's all the muck that only a few moments ago was spread all over my kitchen floor. It's now safely inside the dirty water tank, ready for me to pour down my sink, or probably, in the case of this particular mess, down my loo. So all I have to do is remove the tank unclip the two glue clips either side, take the top off, and then I can dispose of that disgusting mess. Well, at the start of the video I was wearing my wellies, and at the end of the video I'm in my socks. I'm quite happy to walk about on this floor now in my socks, because I know that underneath there's no mess. In fact, I can kneel on this floor, I can stroke it, in the safe knowledge that the dirt has been removed and it's now inside the Vax Floormate Cordless. I'm just going to go through a few maintenance tips for you in order to keep your Floormate operating efficiently. From time to time you may feel you need to give the squeegee nozzle a good clean out. So you can just remove it by pulling on the front here. So this whole nozzle comes out, and you can rinse that under the tap, give it a good clean, or put it in some warm soapy water and then give it a clean that way. Rinse it, dry it, and then pop it back on the machine. You can also clean the spin scrub brushes. You don't have to take the front of the nozzle off to get the brushes out, but you can still press these two release buttons without taking the nozzle off. But while you're cleaning the nozzle, you might as well check the brushes. So you just press both of these blue tabs either side, and then you should be able to release the brush. And despite all that dirt, obviously it's still wet because I've just done the demo, despite the floor being absolutely filthy, the brushes, there are a little bit of dark marks on them, but they'll soon rinse off. But it's still pretty clean. But if you want to clean that in under running water, and you can pop it back on the machine. Occasionally you might get bits stuck into the brushes. You can just pull those off, especially if you have pet hairs, but always thoroughly vacuum or sweep the floor before you use the Floormate, and you'll get the best results that way. I find it easier to put the brushes back with the machine lying on its back like this, because you need to locate this blue spindle here into this little white hole there. So it's just a question of lining it up. You might have to jiggle the brushes around and then just click it into place like that. You'll notice that they do move up and down. That helps to clean uneven floor surfaces, because not everyone has a perfectly smooth floor in their home, and because the brushes have some give in them, they should cope with any uneven floors that you have. And then once that's all back, we can pop the squeegee nozzle back on the front of the cleaner. There are two tabs just here and here, and there's two corresponding holes, and you just need to make sure you pop those into the holes. There we go. Push it until it clicks in place. The other thing you can do, apart from, of course, after each time you've used the Floormate, you must look at the state of that. You must empty the dirty water, and if you've been clearing up quite a lot of mess, give it a rinse out. There is a filter in the top of this as well. This can all be rinsed under running water as well. There's this sponge filter that prevents any larger particles from accidentally getting into the motor. Just run the tap through that to clean that, give it a shake, and then stand both the container and the top. Just stand it on the side and wait till it dries before reassembling it and popping it back in the machine. From time to time, I would suggest giving the clean water container a good rinse out. Don't leave it with solution in, use all the solution up before you store the machine away. And there's also here, this is a little tip, if it's not distributing the water, it might be because this has seized up this little valve here. So just make sure that's all clean before you put the machine away. And also, one last tip, Because this doesn't come with anything to stand it on, obviously when you've used it the brushes underneath will be wet. So before you store it away, get an old bath towel, fold it into about 4 and then just keep the hard floor washer on that, and then you won't damage any delicate floor that you might be storing it underneath. If of course it's just an old stone floor in your utility room and you're not bothered about it, it's not necessary, but it does help to dry out the brushes in between usage. And of course the final thing you must do is make sure you remove the battery and charge it up. So in order to ensure your Vax Floormate Cordless is ready and charged for next time, remove the battery and pop it in the charger. Now if we look at the battery, if we press the charge indicator button here, we can see that it's still showing 2 bars. So I'm quite confident if I was to leave that, I would still be able to clean my kitchen floor several times over before I need to charge it again. But for the purpose of the video, I'll just show you the charger that you get supplied. You can wall mount that if you wish. Obviously it has to be near a power socket. And then to charge, all we do is click it into the charger there, and as you can see the blue light comes on to say it's charging successfully. When it's charged, which normally takes on average 3 hours for a full charge, it will switch itself off and the blue light will turn off. If there's any problems, that blue light will be red, so take the battery out. Sometimes it can happen if the battery's got too warm, because they can warm up during use. If that's the case, unplug the charger, leave it for a while, plug the charger back in and try the battery in again, and you should find that it's charging okay. And obviously you can see the lights pulsating here showing it's charging. When it's fully charged, all the lights will be lit, and like I say, the blue light on the front will turn off because the charger will actually turn itself off. Well, that's the end of my video. I hope you found it informative and useful. If you have any questions about the Vax Floormate Cordless, please ask in the comments section below and I'll do my best to answer them. You can of course go direct to Vax's website and you'll see the full range of floormate cleaners there. Not only this cordless model, but they do a range of mains powered corded floormate machines as well, so you might find that the corded machine suits you best. But personally, I love the cordless aspect of this. It makes it very easy to use. You're not bothered about where to find a socket. It's also ideal when I'm cleaning my bathroom and my ensuite upstairs. My bathroom's in the middle of the house and there's no power socket nearby. So with my corded floormate that I've used up there, I have to use an extension lead. But with this, as long as the battery's charged, I can just carry it upstairs, clean my bathroom, and Bob's your uncle. So that's it. If you'd like to subscribe, please do so, and you'll be updated every time I upload a new floor care video. So until then, it's goodbye and thanks for watching.